My name is Leon Benson, and I'm an orthopedic hand surgeon, and I'm here today speaking on behalf of the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. With Thanksgiving less than 48 hours away, we thought it would be a good idea to give out some tips on how to make your holiday perhaps just a little bit safer. First, recognize that the kitchen is one of the most common locations for household accidents, so it's important to try to minimize distractions when you're using knives or cutting implements in the kitchen. This includes keeping children away from the work area where you're cutting the bird. With respect to carving itself, there's 5 tips that are helpful. Number 1, try to make sure that your carving area is stable. There's nothing quite as frustrating and dangerous as trying to cut when the cutting board moves around or slides over the kitchen counter. Number 2, try to remember to always cut away from yourself. It's more likely that you're going to hurt yourself if you cut towards your body where the knife may slip and then you damage yourself by getting stuck in your hand or another part of your body. Number 3, be familiar with your tools. Some knives are good for carving and some are good for boning the turkey. Recognize which ones are which because the carving tools are probably safer to use for carving purposes. Number 4, don't forget to use a second utensil to hold the bird. Don't use your other hand to hold down the turkey when you're cutting it with your dominant hand. Use a fork or some other tool to hold the bird. That way if your knife slips, you'll cut into the utensil and not yourself. The last tip we'd recommend is to consider cutting off some of the meat from the bird and then carving that secondarily. That way you don't have to work with the turkey, which can be an awkward position to hold a knife or a fork. Cutting on a secondary surface is probably easier. And a cooking tip would be to cut against the grain when you slice the turkey. You get a more tender cut of turkey. At the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, we want to make sure that you have a safe holiday. If you're a really good cook, your turkey meat will probably just fall off the bone because it's so tender. But for the rest of us, remember, play it safe. Keep your focus. Use the right technique and the right tools. We want you to be able to bring the turkey to your table and not have to bring your finger to ours.